I am feeling it. I am feeling strong. I am feeling feisty, getting down to the nitty-gritty, down and dirty. And it can only mean that, ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms. And I would like to welcome each and every single one of you to a very special TGI Tuesday stream. And you damn right, that is a thing. TGI Tuesdays are always a thing with DJ Shizzle live, baby. As of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy and the operator of the best damn X, formerly known as Twitter, handle Stop what you are doing. Stop what you're doing. I just need you to take in a big inhale. I just want you to just breathe in the air, and I want you to go, oh. Hold on. Do it again. Oh. One more time, people. Oh, shit. Do you smell that? Do you know what that is? People, I need you to answer me this very important question. Do you know what that so succulent and tasty scent is? That right there is the smell of pure fucking excellence. Wait for it. Wait for it. To mankind. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, I'm feeling it. I am feeling it. I'm on fire. And we are here to talk about NXT Deadline. It's the official rundown for NXT Deadline 2023, which of course is streaming live on the Peacock, that is. Get your mind out of the gutter, you fucking savages. Peacock this Saturday from Bridgeport, Connecticut, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And as you can see, I am not alone for the very first time ever as a duo here on the Rundown. She is one of the newest female members to the Hardcore Sports brand. You may have seen her on the Wrestling Experience with my main man, Earl Colbebe. Please help me welcome, coming to us live from North Carolina, she is the one and only Sherry. How you doing?
I am doing great, DJ. How are you doing?
I am always doing great. It's always a good time when your name is DJ Shizzle Dizzle My Nizzle.
Absolutely. But yes, like you said, Earl's my main man too. Love Earl. And we actually, on the Hardcore Sports Network, we have a new podcast. It's happening once a month called Queens of the Ring. Myself, Denise, and Sarah from the Raw Watch Along. We have our own show, and we just had our first episode. We're very excited about it, and I'm looking forward to what's going to be happening with this NXT show. It looks like it's going to be a really solid lineup. So.
I actually haven't gotten a chance to meet Denise yet. That's a little disappointing on my part. I obviously am very antiquated with Sarah. Sarah's awesome. Sarah is extremely, extremely, extremely talented, and she's extremely well in the analytical game. I've been wanting to collaborate with you for a while now, so I'm actually very interested in seeing what you bring to the table. But I don't think I've actually gotten a chance to get antiquated with Denise yet. Hopefully I'll be able to do that a little bit later on. I know that she's a massive AJ Styles mark.
She most definitely is, yes. Yes. But,
I'm
we all
bring
different experiences and different, different backgrounds when it comes to wrestling. But we have that female perspective from, and like I said, different backgrounds, different experiences when it comes to wrestling. So we just kind of come together and we all have a great time. And we always have a great time with Earl on the Monday night show. And I'm actually be on the Friday night show this coming Friday with Earl, helping out since Mitch Kofsky is unavailable. So
it's unbelievable. I'm fucking playing catch up with that guy. I'm the one that got him into YouTube, and his streams have more fucking views than mine. Unbelievable. I've been doing this shit for over 6 years. It's unbelievable.
He's booking it, man. I'm telling you. He's
unbelievable, this fucking guy. Hey, look, Mr. Excitement. That's who he is. That's who he is. He's agreeing with everyone's fucking assessment left and right. I got to get me a t-shirt. He's already getting himself a t-shirt of mine. I'm already going to be sending it this Friday, but let me tell you something. I got to get myself a t-shirt of his. I know that he's got a lot of good t-shirts with a lot of good phrases, but we'll talk about Earl Cole at a later time. Deadline is, of course, this Saturday. I have been very, very vocal. I've been very, very vocal about NXT being the worst brand in the industry, not because of the fact that it has a bad roster. Well, let's be honest here. You take a look at the roster up and down. The roster is full of very, very talented young men and women. I just fucking cannot stand. I cannot stomach the creative direction of the show. It has absolutely no identity of its own. It has absolutely no true direction of where it wants to go. The matches that they deliver are way too short. The women's division is actually very, very good. I will give them that. The one thing that they do have going for them is the women's division, and they do have a very nice main event scene, although it may seem like they are running out of challengers for Ilya Dragunov because he's already run through Carmelo Hayes. I mean, if you want to do Braun Breaker, you could do Braun Breaker. He's fighting Baron Corbin at Deadline, but based on what happened last year at Deadline, I remember when they first introduced the concept of Deadline and the Iron Survivor Challenge, I was actually very impressed with the 2 Iron Survivor Challenges last year, and last year's Deadline actually turned out to be a very solid show, so I do expect somewhat of the same here on Deadline 2023 in Bridgeport, Connecticut. But what are your thoughts on the overall build, and how do you see this pay-per-view going off as we head into 2024?
I'm very interested about, several things. Like you said, I mean, I'm an old school black and gold girl. I love the black and gold.
The best era of pro wrestling since the Attitude Era.
God, it was amazing. It was so amazing. And and they do have some really good talent. I definitely agree with you. Their women's roster is so solid right now. I mean, it's kind of, they're blessed when it comes to that. And the thing that really is kind of intriguing me is how they're going to treat, if they're actually going to wind up calling up Carmelo or Braun at this point.
I'm surprised that neither of them have been called up.
I'm shocked.
If not Carmelo, at least Braun, because at least Carmelo, he's doing something right now. He's embroiled in legitimately the only intriguing storyline in NXT right now with Trick Williams. Outside of that, well, and some people can say, you can even make the argument that that's nothing more than a great value Adam Cole MJF storyline. But regardless of that, that is literally the only intriguing storyline in NXT right now. At least Carmelo Hayes is doing something. Braun Breaker, I am shocked that he has not been called up yet.
I'm shocked about both of them, but like you said, and that was the point I was going to bring up, they've got this whole thing going on with Carmelo and Trick, and I mean, of course, I have my theory that Lexus King really didn't do it. He walked in on Carmelo attacking Trick, but that, like you said, to me, that's been the best build as far as the matches goes, and a very solid women's roster. But I'm very curious to hear what as far as these matches go, what your assessment's going to be as well. So, but yeah, I'm very, that the Carmelo thing's definitely got me, interested. And, but yeah, I'm Ilya Dragunov versus Corbin. I'm interested in that also. I'm not so much on the build, obviously, but I really like that Baron Corbin seems to be thriving kind of where he is.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later on for sure. I do believe that if they play their cards right, I actually do believe that we could end up seeing I don't really want to make comparisons, but I do believe that we could see somewhat close to an NXT Black and Gold style show at Stand and Deliver next year if they do play their cards right, because you got a lot of intriguing elements here. Obviously, Dragunov is the NXT champion, as he should be. The storyline with Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, they got a nice little thing going there. You got Lyra Valkyria as the NXT Women's Champion, and I do believe that she could be headed towards a major match, probably with Blair Davenport in the future. Yeah. And obviously, whatever else you got going on in between. So if they do play their cards right, I do believe that NXT Stand and Deliver could be one of the best NXT shows that they put on post Black and Gold. But again, it's been very, very hard for me to invest my time just because of how much of a downgrade it really has been from the classic Black and Gold era. And we already know that the Black and Gold era, that right there was only killed because Vince McMahon, he was pretty much just envious of his son-in-law. Thankfully, it came back to bite him in the ass, and he's gone now. But before we get into what we're going to get into, where can everybody find you on social media?
Sure. On X, Twitter, whatever, I still call it Twitter. It's just TTLY Cherry, but it's kind of like Just Totally Cherry, but yeah. And I do have a YouTube channel. It's actually Disney Beams. We used to be like a Disney vlogging channel, but I've put a lot of our wrestling trips on there. I've still got to do like a couple of house shows that we went to, and then WrestleCade as well, which was this past weekend. And I'm on Instagram at Fantabulous Cherry.
Very nice. Yeah. Very, very nice. As far as I go, you can follow me on social media, X and Instagram at HistoryMakerDJS. Once again, that is at HistoryMakerDJS because I make history in everything that I do. You can also add me on my personal Facebook for collaborations and business inquiries. Please send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. Be sure to like the official DJ Storms business page, and I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. That is, all of those links are in the description of this very video. You can also check out some of my sponsorships. I got 2 major sponsorships. Shout out to my girl, Brittany K. She's a wonderful woman, wonderful human being, good friend of mine, and a big supporter of the channel. She does beautifully crafted designs and drawings from scratch on her iPad of all different types of professional wrestlers from all different types of companies. And she even does Twitter avies and banners. So if you guys are looking for a good Twitter avie or banner, or you're looking for a great drawing or a graphic design of a professional wrestler, she is your girl. Go check her out on X. It's Brittany K5150, while her Instagram is Brittany K Designs. And then, of course, Corporate Information System, recognized by Forbes as one of America's best recruiting firms. Finding the right candidates can be a challenging and time-consuming process, which is why Corporate Information Systems is here to help you with your hiring needs. If you're looking to help advance your career or fulfill your recruitment needs, please go contact my friends over at Corporate Information System. Check out the website, www.corporateinformationsystem.com, which is CISrecruiters.com, www.CISrecruiters.com. You will not regret it. They will help you secure a great position. And of course, if you're watching the stream, whether it be on X, whether it be on YouTube, whether it be on Facebook, hit the like button. It is very vital that you hit that like button so that way we can get as many likes as possible, as many viewers as possible, as much traction and attention as we possibly can. I brought Sherry on the show, and of course, everyone needs a dose of DJ Storms in their lives because it is a known fact that I make people's lives better. That's just the law of the land. So if you guys want to make your lives better and other people's lives better, you got to tell them that DJ Shizzle and Sherry Sherry Berry Terry is live on YouTube.com and X and Facebook. So that way everyone can get a little dosage. And of course, be sure if you're watching on YouTube, you hit the subscribe button, whether it be on Hardcore Sports or whether it be on my channel. I have surpassed 2,200 subs, and we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers with the Hardcore Sports channel. We are looking to take flight in 2024. I don't got my shades with me, but the future is so bright that I'm going to have to start wearing them when Hardcore Sports blows up in 2024. And of course, when you hit that subscribe button, you got to make sure that you hit that notifications bell with a huge coup de grace, because that way you're going to know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, oh, baby, it is the best time to be on YouTube. Shut up, Mitch, with the Orange Cassidy sucks chance. This isn't even an AEW stream. You fucking moron. Fucking moron, this guy.
God.
Let me tell you something. I'm the heart and soul of Hardcore Sports, Mitchelson.
Drinking that orange haterade, man, I'll tell you.
I know, it's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. But regardless, make sure you hit the subscribe button, because it's the only time that you'll know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, it is the best time to be on YouTube. Do you know why? Because it's the only time that you're going to get to see this glorious sideburn chin strap combination and this beautiful mustache right here. James Punaseca, I know you were asking for it, and now you're going to get it. Hold on. It's somewhere in here. Somewhere in here. I think it's a little bit. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Look at that shit. Look at that shit right there. This right here is a beautifully crafted magical ace black comb. Hold on a minute. I gotta blow on it. It's sizzling. And you know what's going to happen now? We're going to let it up right here on the rundown with a little and a dash of and a whole lot of because like hot, sizzling Campbell's chicken noodle soup possibilities. I am just so good. I am tasty, sizzling. I am the so scrumptious snack of the IWC, and everybody wants a piece of the Storm's Meister. It is a known fact. And yes, I know my mane is out of control right here. This pompadour needs some work. I'll be getting a haircut on Friday, but you already know that whenever this sideburn chin strap combination and this glorious mustache pops up on YouTube, you already know that your life is about to get 1,000 times better. But anyway, enough of the self-brand promotion and the advertisements. I think we should get straight into the festivities here on the rundown. Let's talk about the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge. Tiffany Stratton, Lash legend, Blair Davenport, Kalani Jordan, and Fallon Henley. I'm going to be quite honest here. This one actually looks weaker than last year's Women's Iron Survivor Challenge. I took a look at last year's Women's Iron Survivor Challenge. We actually had a bit more star power in that one and a bit more better wrestlers, because let me tell you something. When I look for an Iron Survivor Challenge, I look for 5 of the best. Lash Legend is not one of the best. Now, I will give her a slight amount of credit. She's gotten a little better, but, you know, she went from being completely trash to being slightly less trash. So at the end of the day, it's not really that big of a jump. And Fallon Henley, I don't got an issue with Fallon Henley at all. I don't got an issue with Fallon Henley, but Fallon Henley, I really don't want to make comparisons, but is she really going anywhere? She's just another body on the roster. She doesn't feel like she is of any use. She's a decent wrestler, but if anything, she feels more like a manager for Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen. She's not terrible in the ring, but you compare her to a Tiffany Stratton, a Roxanne Perez, a Blair Davenport. Who would you rather see? Kalani Jordan, on the other hand, I'm actually really impressed with Kalani Jordan. I think that in due time, she could almost become like the female Ricochet if they want her to be. She's very, very fluid in the ring. Tiffany Stratton and Blair Davenport clearly are the two biggest names here. So if I am going to go with a winner, it's either Stratton or Blair Davenport. And if you're asking me, I'm going to go with Stratton. I've already said that Tiffany Stratton was buried after she lost to Becky Lynch twice, which shouldn't have happened. Becky Lynch did absolutely nothing with the NXT Championship. Shit all over NXT, if you're asking me. So if you're asking what exactly should happen here, Tiffany Stratton probably seems like the safest bet here. And, of course, there's going to be people that are going to come at me and say, well, what did happen now, DJ Storms? Yo, Tiffany Stratton, you said she was buried, and here she is winning the Iron Survivor Challenge. Now, that's what happens with all these fucking morons that come into my mentions that think that they know more about this fucking sport than I do. But at the end of the day, Tiffany Stratton is already in a shit position. Tiffany Stratton's already in a shit position, and Lyra Valkyria, she legitimately just won the championship. Lyra Valkyria has been the champion for barely a month and a half. The biggest money match that they could do for NXT, Stand and Deliver, WrestleMania weekend for this brand would be Blair Davenport versus Lyra Valkyria, with Blair Davenport winning the NXT Championship. That is the best route to go. So at the end of the day, give Tiffany Stratton the win. Tiffany Stratton sure as hell ain't going to win the championship. It's just going to be another big L for Tiffany Stratton. She's legitimately the new Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley, when she lost to Charlotte Flair, she was buried. She lost all of her fucking luster, and it took her 3 years to get that luster back. I'm not sure how long it's going to take for Tiffany Stratton, but either way, he certainly ain't going anywhere right now. I'm actually kind of shocked that Tiffany Stratton is not in the plans for a main roster call-up. Or maybe she is, and we just don't know. That is definitely, undoubtedly, one of the top-tier people set for a main roster call-up after WrestleMania. I don't understand why she is still down there. I don't understand where she has left to go. She's already hit her ceiling. You already fucked up her NXT women's title reign. Her title reign was fucking terrible, and it wasn't even her fault. So why not just call her up? Call her up, work her into the plans, do something with her. She already has no credibility. At least give us something of substance. At least try to rejuvenate Tiffany Stratton in the position that she's in. Tiffany Stratton getting the win right here, it's probably the best bet because she is expendable. Tiffany Stratton is expendable right now. She's set for a main roster call-up. And Blair Davenport, that is the big money match for WrestleMania weekend. She is undoubtedly the next NXT Women's Champion. So I am going with Tiffany Stratton to win the Iron Survivor Challenge, and Tiffany Stratton will fight Lyra Valkyria, I presume, at New Year's Evil.
Okay. Well, I was actually going to go with Blair Davenport, but I mean, you make a very good case for it needing to be Tiffany Stratton. I honestly was very shocked that they put that belt on Becky. I mean, I love Becky, but I mean, come on. But did she really need it? No, she didn't.
That shit pissed me off. Like, it legit pissed me the fuck off.
It's like Becky didn't need that. Tiffany needed that a lot more. So I really don't understand it. But from what I understand, Tiffany is wanting to stay down there for a little while, at least a little while longer.
Should have never lost the title then.
I agree. I don't think she should have lost it. And if she was
going to what they should have done is they should have done Tiffany beating Becky at No Mercy. And if Lyra Valkyria was going to win the title anyway, it should have been Lyra and Becky without the title at Halloween Havoc in a number one contenders match, with Lyra beating Becky then, and then beating Tiffany Stratton this Saturday at Deadline. That way, Tiffany Stratton would have at least had a solid amount of time with the championship, at least around 200 days, I presume. She would have had it for a decent amount of time. She would have had a couple of decent opponents. She would have gotten a big win over Becky, and then she would have transferred that credibility to Lyra Valkyria, and then boom, you could have called it a day. But no.
Agree. I completely agree. I still don't understand the logic and all of that, but yeah, she wants to learn more from Shawn Michaels is what I heard. But I mean, she is as ready for a main wrestler call up as Carmelo and Braun, as far as I'm concerned. she is definitely the total package when it comes to women. I mean, she is incredible in the ring. Getting back to like Fallon Henry, I'm curious to see how she does in this kind of match, in this kind of environment. So, yeah, I keep shifting back and forth as far as like who I think is going to win between Blair and Tiffany, but I definitely agree that Tiffany needs it more. She needs it after that loss to Becky.
It's not really going to do much to her because her credibility has gone down the fucking shitter. But in the end, I do believe that Tiffany Stratton's probably the best route to go because, again, she is expendable. However, I do believe that this is going to be a major breakout performance for Kalani Jordan.
Oh, absolutely.
I do believe that Kalani Jordan is going to shine the most in this match. Just like last year, in similar fashion, Kiana James, who didn't even score a point, she was probably one of the biggest standout performers in that Iron Survivor Challenge.
Agreed. And she's grown so much since that, since last year or two. I mean, you could make a case for a dark horse being Kalani. But I think you're right. I think that match at Stand and Deliver is going to wind up being Blair, and Blair is going to win it.
I mean, I'm DJ Storms. I'm always right.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think Tiffany wins this.
This match actually just got made official. Wes Lee, he's no longer challenging Dominic Mysterio for the NXT North American Championship. Now, you have NXT on in the background. Mm-hmm. What exactly does Wes Lee need surgery for? Hip?
He looked like he had some sort of a crutch. I didn't have the volume all the way up, so I couldn't understand what he was saying. It was either a knee or an ankle, because it looked like that he was like limping and all that stuff. But I couldn't hear everything that was being said. But
that right there is a major blow because Wes Lee is easily one of the best things about the brand.
Agreed. But I mean, you're going to have Dragon Lee in there.
Yes, they made it official. Dragon Lee and Dominic Mysterio for the NXT North American Championship. Shout out to Sarah Hapka, who's currently watching. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Hey, Sarah. What's up, babe? Dragon Lee's got to win this. Come on.
I don't understand why the fuck he didn't win back in September.
Your guess is as good as mine.
And to make matters worse, Trick Williams beats Dominic Mysterio and then loses the fucking title 3 days later.
That
fuck are they doing?
That hot potatoing of belts is just, it's so freaking frustrating as it is. But
oh my god,
yeah, that I did not understand at all. Well, when it first happened, I was like, oh, okay, maybe they're gonna call up Trick, but nope, not happening. At least not now. But Dragon Lee, but I'm saying he's going to win it, and he better win it.
He has to. I see. Here's the thing. Is Dominic Mysterio getting better? Yes, I will give him credit. He's slowly getting better. He is slowly coming around. He's slowly morphing into what we know he can be. He feels like he knows what he wants to do, and he's slowly trying to put that into action. He's putting the pieces of the puzzle together, but that I'm telling you, he was not ready for a championship. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The match with Wes Lee, fucking terrible back in July. Now, he had a great match with Dragon Lee. I actually thought that the Dragon Lee match was actually better than the match at WrestleMania against Rey Mysterio.
By a mile, absolutely.
And then on top of that, I do believe that he had another match with, what was it? Was it Seth Rollins, or did he have another match with Ricochet? I think it was Ricochet. He also had another match with Ricochet, and Ricochet actually brought a very good match out of Dominic Mysterio as well. So, again, he's slowly piecing the pieces of the puzzle together. He is slowly getting the hang of it. He's slowly getting the hang of it. He's slowly coming out of his shell. He's more than just Rhea's bitch. He's
Right.
actually becoming a solid in-ring performer. But at the end of the day, we all know the whole issue with Dominic Mysterio winning the North American Championship. It's just a pathetic attempt at grabbing ratings because he's a main roster talent. And that's one of the main problems that I have with NXT. That has been one of the core issues with NXT, and the fact that they have no identity of their own. After 2014, legitimately, after 2014, there was no main roster talent used on NXT.
No.
For the rest of Black and Gold's era. None. None
That's
whatsoever.
what made it so great, because it didn't need it. It
They
didn't
didn't need it.
They didn't need it at all. You had main roster talent down there that carried that brand, and you could make the case that Black and Gold era from 2014 to
2019,
when
2020.
2019, that is some of the best wrestling that's been on television. Although, I mean, it was on the network, but
that era produced some of the greatest matches in the history of the sport.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna put my daughter to bed. I'll be right back. Okay.
No worries. I'll take it from here. So as far as the match itself goes, I do believe that Dragon Lee and Dominic Mysterio, I do believe that they're going to put together something decent. They put together something decent at the end of September on Monday Night Raw, and I was actually very, very shocked with it. If anything, they were the best thing on the show. Bar none, the best thing on the show, Dragon Lee and Dominic Mysterio back in September. And Dragon Lee brought Dominic Mysterio to one of the best matches of his career. And if they really want to, if you give them the time, you give them the opportunity, you know what? They're going to do it again. I thoroughly have the confidence that they're going to do it again. However, if Dragon Lee's not going to win this, I really don't understand what they're even doing. You had Rey Mysterio legitimately just now on NXT. He endorsed Dragon Lee. Rey Mysterio endorsed Dragon Lee, and Rey Mysterio said that Dominic will be defending the championship against him at Deadline. If they are having these heavy endorsements from Rey Mysterio towards Dragon Lee, then he's going to have to win. I really don't understand how Dragon Lee loses. The only reason that I could honestly see Dragon Lee losing this NXT North American Championship match is if we potentially get Dragon Lee winning the United States Championship #1 Contenders Tournament. But even then, I don't think he's going to win. Not to take anything away from Dragon Lee, because Dragon Lee, he's been on a roll on the main roster. He's been getting win after win after win after win. He's been getting a lot of showcase on the main roster. However, I find it very, very hard to root against Kevin Owens, even though they're saying that, Kevin Owens he's got a broken finger. He's got like 2 broken bones in his finger in his right hand. People are saying that, he can't compete. He can't compete, and it's not going to favor well. Just wrap it up in a cast. I remember Adam Cole was the NXT champion. How many times did he wrestle with a broken wrist? I believe he had a broken wrist for about 2 months, 2.5 months. He wrestled Matt Riddle with a broken wrist. He wrestled Bryan Danielson with a broken wrist. He wrestled Pete Dunne, I believe, with a broken wrist. How long did he wrestle with a broken wrist? So if Adam Cole wrestled with a broken wrist, then Kevin Owens can wrestle with a broken hand. So I find it very, very hard to believe that Kevin Owens isn't going to win the #1 Contenders Tournament to get a shot at Logan Paul. But that is the only way that I could see Dragon Lee losing this match against Dominic Mysterio, is if he ends up winning the #1 Contenders Tournament and he fights Logan Paul at the Rumble. But even then, that's too soon for a Dragon Lee title opportunity. Dragon Lee is probably the best possible candidate to take the North American Championship, take it into 2024, and really restore some prestige. I don't want to say that Dominic has really diminished the prestige of the championship, because we have gotten some good matches with Dominic Mysterio as North American champion. But let's be honest here. Who would you rather see? Dominic Mysterio or Dragon Lee? And based on the fact that you're just coming back, Cherry, I'm sure you can pretty much you can guess where I'm getting at with Dominic Mysterio and Dragon Lee. I really don't understand how Dragon Lee loses here.
He shouldn't. He's got to win this. He's got to.
I really think that the best route here is we need to get Dominic Mysterio off of NXT. He needs to be on the main roster. And why don't we start experimenting a little bit with Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough in the tag team division? And maybe we could get a little decent branch off of the Judgment Day. You already got Finn and Damian. Why not dabble in it with Dominic and JD and just kind of make them a preliminary villain team that you got to go through before you get to Finn and Damian. You already did it once with the Creed brothers, so why not do that going forward? That's just an idea, of course. That's just an idea. But Dominic, he is not in any position to be a champion right now. It's just his time.
And they did work together pretty well last night on Raw. Dominic and JD. They seemed to work pretty well together, so that's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Experiment with it. Listen, Dominic may not be ready for a major spotlight yet, but he's still very versatile. You can plug him into anything.
Yes, his character work is like top notch. I mean,
let's be honest here. He's no Jay White. He's no Swerve Strickland. Like those are the heel characters right there. Dominic, I feel like it's just very, very repetitive with Dominic. He comes out, he can't speak. That's his character. There's really no depth to Dominic Mysterio. That's like my main gripe. There's no depth to Dominic Mysterio. He's just a heel that comes out. He can barely get a word out during his promos, and he's a cuck for Rhea Ripley. That's who he is. That's Dominic Mysterio. Where is the depth?
I mean, that part I definitely agree with. I think he has the potential to do a whole lot more because, like I said, I never would have made a bet that he would be the most hated person on the roster, but he managed to make himself get booed out of every building. But yeah, the whole we're gonna boo him until he stops talking type thing is it's starting to wear thin. The whole thing with Rhea is starting to wear thin. But yeah, I like that. I really do like that idea of him and JD kind of being this new offshoot team. I think that's a really cool idea, actually.
So now we go to the men's Iron Survivor Challenge. This is Josh Briggs, Braun Breaker, Trick Williams, Dijak, and a person to be decided later, which I'm assuming we'll probably get after we get off the stream here. I'm not sure who exactly it's going to be. Maybe it'll be Carmelo Hayes. If anything, it being Carmelo Hayes is probably one of the best routes to go because that right there, that actually plays into the storyline with Trick Williams. Who else is in the match? I haven't really been keeping up to date. I mean, let me look on this. Let me look online.
I was going to say, I think you named everyone. But I mean, I think Carmelo is a solid choice for that because as I was kind of eyeing it in the background over here, they had another one of those like behind the scenes video things, and it looked like Carmelo was like talking to someone, and then followed Trick back out of the office or whatever it was. So that very well could be it. And actually right now they're talking to the women's Iron Challenge.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now. So the last chance fatal 4-way, it's Eddie Thorpe, Carmelo Hayes, Joe Coffey, and Tyler Bate. I would not mind seeing Tyler Bate win.
I would not mind seeing Bate win.
I would not mind seeing Tyler Bate, and I would not mind seeing him in that position. If Carmelo Hayes is going to be on the show, I can see him fighting Lexus King. Because here's the thing. Brian Pillman Jr. is good, but it doesn't seem like he's really had that breakout match. The biggest match that he's had was Arthur Ashe Stadium 2021 against MJF. And that was a very good match for the 10 minutes that it went, but it really wasn't anything over the top. I feel like there is more to be desired with Brian Pillman Jr., a.k.a. Lexus King. So if you really want to test him, I would not mind seeing a match with him and Carmelo Hayes on Saturday. That would actually be a very, very, very good test for Lexus King, and it would really display what he's made of, what he can really bring to the table, because there's really no one better right now. Some could even make the argument that Carmelo Hayes is the best wrestler in NXT. So if anything, you want to test yourself against the top dog, that right there is a big time indication whether he will succeed or whether he will fail.
Yeah, he it's like Melo is like his litmus test, honestly, to see, kind of see where he goes forward. Let's see.
Who would win that? Carmelo Hayes or Tyler Bate? It's one of those two. It's got to be.
I think that if it is Tyler Bate, which I would love for it to be Tyler Bate, I definitely think you're right. I think that Carmelo Hayes winds up going against Lexus King to try to clear his name type thing with this whole thing that's going on with Trick. If we put Tyler Bate in that, let's see, who else do we have?
Eddie Thorpe and Joe Coffey.
Eddie Thorpe and Joe Coffey. I don't want Joe Coffey to win that.
Oh, I like Joe Coffey, but I don't think he's winning.
I'm not a Gallus gal.
I think they're a great faction. I don't think that they've had the proper booking.
Oh, they've had terrible booking, honestly.
They didn't have a bad tag team title reign, but the tag team division, it really isn't its strongest in NXT.
No, it absolutely is not. But I think out of the ones that I think I'm going with Tyler Bate filling that last role.
Yeah.
And Melo having that match with Lexus King, I think.
Now, if that's the case, who wins the Iron Survivor Challenge? To me, it seems like there's only one. It seems like the only logical winner is Braun Breaker. For the exact same reason with Tiffany Stratton.
Yep.
Same thing with Tiffany Stratton. Dragunov has been the champion for how long? 2.5 months? You're really going to take the title off of Dragunov at the hands of Braun Breaker when he doesn't need it, and after the fact that Braun Breaker has already held the championship for over a year across 2 reigns combined? It would be stupid. It would be stupid. Braun Breaker at this rate, and this is one of the reasons why I'm shocked he hasn't been called up, his booking ever since he became a heel has sucked. All he does is lose. All he does is lose the big matches. He's lost to Carmelo Hayes. He's lost to Baron Corbin. He's lost to Ilya Dragunov back in July. What is the payoff here? What exactly is the payoff? All he does is lose big matches.
It doesn't seem like there is one. I mean, it doesn't seem like there is one.
Yeah, the payoff should be the main roster. The payoff should be the main roster.
Yeah. Let's see.
Because if you're asking me, same thing with Blair Davenport, Dijak, and Ilya Dragunov. That to me is your NXT title match for Stand and Deliver. Because if you guys remember, they put on perhaps what was one of the best NXT matches of the year back at Battleground in that last man standing match. That was a great match.
Yes, it was. I would like to think that Tyler Bate would win it if he gets into it, but I think you're right. I think Breaker has to win it. And he, for God's sake, call him up either after the Royal Rumble or in the very least after WrestleMania. Come on. I mean,
let me tell you something. If there's one thing that I would not mind, because let me tell you something. I cannot stand this fucking guy, and I said that they should just pay him to sit out the rest of his contract. But if you want to put Braun Breaker at WrestleMania, give him Brock Lesnar.
Oh, wow.
Give him Brock Lesnar. That's how you make a first impression. Braun Breaker beats Brock Lesnar.
Ooh, boy, that. Are you thinking at the Royal Rumble or are you thinking at WrestleMania?
Mania.
Ooh.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. Either way, I think Breaker's got to win this. I mean, like you said, otherwise, what are they doing? Like this whole thing where he's been fucking around with Come Tuesday. I mean, it's like that whole.
And I like Von Wagner, but
I don't mind him. But it's kind of like you said. It's like, what are they doing? You know, as far as the storyline goes, it's just like I don't know. I think Breaker's got to win this, but if Tyler Bate happens to
I wouldn't mind Tyler Bate winning either. I wouldn't mind him winning.
I would, if Tyler Bate makes it in, I think there's a definite case that he would win this.
To my knowledge, have we gotten a Tyler Bate versus Ilya Dragunov one-on-one match yet?
Ooh.
I don't think we have.
Unless we had it in NXT UK.
Not to my knowledge. They crossed paths once in a battle royal, and that was all I can remember.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that. Oh, my God. That match would slap. Jesus. Yeah.
If they want to do that, I would not mind that. Tyler Bate or Braun Breaker would probably be the best two choices. But I would like to go with Braun Breaker because I do believe that Braun Breaker and Ilya Dragunov, we had a great match with him back in July. Have him run it back because why the fuck not?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Breaker should win it, but
if you want to do Tyler Bate, you can do him at Vengeance Day. I believe that's on February 4th.
Yeah, it's usually in February. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to go with Breaker, but I'm kind of crossing my fingers. It's Tyler Bate. I think that would be fantastic.
I would be okay with either. I'll be okay with either.
Yeah.
As long as it's not Dijak. It's too early for Dijak.
No, he needs to not. No.
Dijak should be the one to win the NXT title from Dragunov because there's history there.
Oh, there's absolute history there. I totally agree with that. Absolutely.
You know what I want? Chad Gable, he just beat Noam Dar, tapped him out in a 6-person tag team match. If we're going to get Chad Gable and Noam Dar at Deadline, just fucking get that Heritage Cup off of Noam Dar. Noam Dar's great, but, dude, I'm telling you, he's doing nothing for that championship. He's doing nothing for the cup. Metaphor fucking sucks. The whole gimmick is just fucking cringe as shit. Get the title off him, put it on Chad Gable. Just throw Chad Gable a bone for a little bit. I mean, like, at the end of the day, we'll probably see Chad Gable ultimately beat Gunther at WrestleMania. But look, anything to get that Heritage Cup off of Noam Dar. He's not doing it any good. He's just not.
Well, he's had it for a long time. I mean, if you're counting all the way from NXT UK days and everything. I mean, and I at least know him because I mean I was an ICW fan, so I love Noam Dar from back then. But I mean, I would love to see Gable, but then again, you also have that trap of putting those main roster people on NXT.
I mean, who else is there? Who else is there to beat Noam Dar?
That he's kind of run through everyone, honestly. I mean, he really has. So I mean, yeah, I mean, it would definitely give Gable something to do until you know he can get back to Gunther. I would love to see him be the one to beat Gunther. To be honest with you,
he's got to be.
Yeah. Oh, and I was at that match September 4th in Charlotte, Gunther versus Gable, and it was even that amazing live. I mean, it was like one of the best matches I've ever seen live. It was incredible. And as far as metaphor goes, I don't know where they serve a purpose for Noam, other than
you're there to make Noam Dar look bad.
And Noam Dar is definitely not that.
The only tolerable guy is Oro Mensah, and that's because he's actually a decent wrestler.
Right. Oh, yeah, he's pretty good. But I think Gable wins it, and maybe they do some sort of storyline with kind of like this downward spiral with, kind of like what they were getting ready, what they were kind of doing with Noam to begin with, and maybe he'll finally separate from Metaphor and do something different. I don't know about main roster. He didn't work on the main roster like his first time. He got called up with the whole Alicia Fox boy toy type thing. But I mean, he, like you said, he just tapped Gable out. So I think Gable is going to win.
And then we got the main event. I'm oddly enough, in a weird way, I'm actually looking forward to this. Baron Corbin and Ilya Dragunov for the NXT Championship. And that's mainly because of the fact that it's so weird. Baron Corbin has really had a career resurgence in NXT. I didn't even think I'd be uttering those words. It's almost like, I don't even want to say it, even though he was ready. It's almost like they pulled him up from NXT too soon. It's almost like they pulled him up from NXT too soon, even though he was ready for the main roster. And he came in winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal in a very, very, very nice surprise of a win. And I thought that was a great way to introduce him. Mm-hmm. Now, as far as this match with Dragunov goes, I mean, we've seen him fight Dragunov. We've seen him fight Breaker. We've seen him fight Carmelo Hayes. And we've seen him fight Wesley. He stood toe-to-toe with every single one of them, and he has put on some really solid matches. Yes. But Baron Corbin does not feel nauseating in NXT. And I'm actually very much appreciative of that. And I like the fact that he's gotten himself a new gimmick. It's very, very Lone Wolf-esque. But aside from the fact that he's got a Lone Wolf type of getup, he's acting like a cocky, conceited, rich prick. So it's almost like a small combination of happy lottery winning Corbin and Lone Wolf Corbin. And listen, if we get some sort of a semblance with Lone Wolf Corbin in there, that's fine, because that was easily the only gimmick that worked for him. That was legit the best gimmick that Baron Corbin has ever had. Every other gimmick that he had absolutely sucked donkey cock. It sucked.
Through no fault of his. Because I think Baron Corbin is way underrated.
He's a very good wrestler. He's just been given shit characters.
He has. But it's almost like he's taken a little bit from each character, like, the cocky prick from the constable GM type thing, the Lone Wolf, just going to straight up kick your ass kind of guy. Like you said, the happy Corbin, some of the cocky prick has, it comes from that as well. I'm very pleased with seeing that resurgence in Corbin. Do I think he's going to beat Dragunov? No. I think Dragunov's going to retain. I think it's going to be a very good match, though. I really do.
If they want to, I think that this could be Baron Corbin's best match ever. If they really want to, just let him go out there and fight for 20 minutes. I genuinely believe that these two could tear the house down.
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be the best match of the night. That's kind of my prediction on that.
I'm still sticking with the men's Iron Survivor Challenge there.
Yeah, well, there's a part of me that actually kind of wants Baron Corbin to win, but I know he's not. But yeah, I think Dragunov is going to retain for quite some time now. I think he's going to take it at least until Mania weekend. If he doesn't run out of more challengers, because he's almost getting to that point. But I love that like you said, I love that they are giving Baron Corbin this chance, and he wants to be there, and he wants to help this roster, and he wants to help make that show better. And I think he has made it better. So, I mean, but I mean, the presentation, as always, has a lot to be desired, but I really do like that Baron Corbin is getting this chance, but I don't think he's going to beat Dragunov.
I've been definitely noticing a bit of a change with Baron Corbin. One of the main reasons why Baron Corbin has gotten so much hate is because he genuinely thinks he's the shit when he's not. And he's honestly needed to be humbled, because all he's known is the WWE. So if anything, I would have loved to have seen him take a break and be off of TV. But now that he's on NXT, it seems like now he's it seems like now he's putting in more work than he was on the main roster. With the main roster, it almost seems like he got a little bit complacent. But now that you're in a major program with Dragunov, you better turn up the fucking heat or else you're going to get stomped the fuck out.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what you were saying about that, about how he seemed kind of complacent. Even going back to like 2020, like when he was in the 2020 Royal Rumble, he kind of had that little, just the kind of attitude that he was a shit, like you said. But whether this has been a humbling thing for him, it's definitely been a good thing for him to be down there and really, and you can see that his work rate's gone up since being down there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a really good match between the two of them. But I definitely think Dragunov is retaining.
Oh yeah, Dragunov easily retains. No reason why he should be losing the championship. He is easily holding that championship to WrestleMania weekend as he should be. There is absolutely no reason whatsoever as to why Dragunov should be losing that championship, especially to Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin is merely there. Again, I don't really want to say it, but he's there to enhance other individuals rather than benefit from the riches of NXT. And again, it almost makes me feel a little bit bad for him, but in a sense, I can't really feel too bad for him because you got all this other talent in NXT. And again, who would you rather see, Dragunov or Corbin? Braun Breaker or Baron Corbin? Would you rather see Carmelo Hayes or Baron Corbin?
Right.
Make your choices. Make your choice. I think it's a pretty easy one.
Completely agreed with that. Hi, Earl. What's up, bud?
Earl, you joined in a little bit late, but I'm glad that you stopped on by. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all we got. That's all we got. Pretty quick stream. But then again, I'm sure a lot of people don't really want to waste too much time on NXT. Regardless, I do still think that we're going to get a decent show on Saturday, and I genuinely hope you all enjoyed it. That wraps up this edition of The Rundown. Thank you to everyone who stopped on by, and of course, thank you to Miss Cherry for stopping on by, giving the old asshole from Jersey an hour of her time to talk some professional wrestling. I'm pretty sure I'll piss you off again at some point on Twitter.
It's all good. I piss people off on what seems like a regular basis. It is what it is.
You haven't pissed me off. You're just a mark for Drew McIntyre. But
I freely admit it.
I'm in full-blown asshole mode tonight, but at the same point in time, everybody still loves me. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys have been fantastic. Thank you all. Be sure to check out the LFU this Saturday. As of course, be sure to check out the Rewind for Deadline on Sunday. Be sure to check out both the Rundown and the Rewind for Final Battle 2023. And on both the Rewind and the Rundown, Hoolagrim will be stopping on by the channel. You're going to see Hoolagrim 2 times within the span of 4 days, and it is going to be absolutely fucking glorious. And on top of that, you guys are looking for a great Christmas gift, pick up a DJ Storms t-shirt. Earl Cole has one on the way. He also got a couple wristbands as well. But if you guys are looking for a nice Christmas gift, the DJ Storms Posse wristbands and a DJ Storms t-shirt is the way to go. Cherry, thank you very much for your time. She's Cherry. I'm DJ Storms, and this has been The Rundown. But before we get out of here, a very important question that all must answer. Cherry, this is very important, and your reputation as a podcaster of hardcore sports depends on it.
Oh my, okay.
Who runs the IWC?
That would be DJ Storms.
Oh, you damn fucking right, baby. Who but DJ motherfucking Storms? And don't you ever forget it.
'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution.